In 2012, Viktor Rolf released their second men's fragrance ever. It was called Spicebomb and it became a huge success. In 2015 they released the flanker Spicebomb Extreme. Did they manage to tweak and perfect the original Spicebomb DNA in this fragrance? We'll find out about that next here on Nordic Fragrance. Hi, I'm Tommy and you are watching Nordic Fragrance. Welcome. So back in 2006, Viktor Rolf released their first ever men's fragrance. It was this one. It's called Antidote. And it sold okay, not too well, but it did okay. It took another 6 years for them to release their next men's fragrance, and it was called Spicebomb. And it was an immediate success and sold very well. In 2015 they released this flanker, Spicebomb Extreme, and the question is, did they manage to tweak and improve on the original Spicebomb DNA? Let's find out about that, and we'll start with the presentation of the bottle. So Spicebomb Extreme comes in two different sizes, 50 and 90 ml. The bottle looks like this. I think it's meant to look a little like a hand grenade. Wordplay on the word Spice Bomb. The stopper is a sprint here that you pull out. And the sprayer is good. It's actually quite good. Nothing wrong with that. So what do I think of this bottle? Well, to be honest, I don't like it that much. It looks immature and childish and almost like a children's toy. And I'm against all sorts of violence, so I don't like the thought of a fragrance bottle looking like a hand grenade at all. Even though it is just a play of the word Spice Bomb, I get it. But I still don't like it. I think it's a pretty ugly bottle. The sprayer is good, however, it does its job well, it distributes well, so I can't complain about that. But personally, I don't like this bottle at all. I think it's one of the ugliest bottles I have in my collection. So let's hope what's on the inside is better than the outside, right? That's the most important thing after all. What you get from this is basically a tobacco and vanilla scent. They have a very good tobacco note in it, and it's enhanced by the spices in it, like cumin and black pepper. There's also a little floral touch in the form of lavender in this. But mainly what you get is tobacco and vanilla. And this scent is pretty linear, I would say. What you spray is what you get from the beginning to the end, more or less. So let's move on to the rating of Viktor Rolf Spicebomb Extreme. What do I think of this fragrance? I think it's a solid and good, manly yet sweet fragrance. I really love the note of tobacco in this one, and I really enjoy the spices that amp the tobacco up. What I don't like about this fragrance is the heavy amount of vanilla that's in it. Now I get why they add vanilla to this fragrance. It's a mass-pleasing note for sure, and they want to sell this fragrance to a lot of people, so I get it. But to me, it's just too safe. There are already too many vanilla-based designer fragrances out there that either have vanilla or a lot of tonka beans that have a vanillic scent. Very late down in the dry down of this fragrance, when the vanilla starts to fade away a little, you get a sense of what this fragrance could have been. It's a very nice tobacco and very nice spices that amp the tobacco up. That's really great, and that's what this fragrance could have been if it wasn't for the vanilla. Now don't get me wrong, I still like it. It's a very good, solid fragrance. But it's just not that extra. It's nothing special about it. It's just a mass appealing good fragrance, that's all. And I give it a smell rating of 6.5. Now, to get a female opinion on this fragrance, I asked my girlfriend what her thoughts about this fragrance was, and she liked it. She also said it was a very sweet and pleasant smell to it, and she gave it a rating of 7. Next we're moving on to the strength rating, and this is a little tricky. When you first spray this fragrance, you get like an intense burst of it. You think, wow, this is almost overwhelming, and this fragrance will last like forever. And in some respect, it does last forever. The longevity of this fragrance is about 8 hours before it becomes a skin scent. And even after it becomes a skin scent, it still lasts for 14 to 15 hours at the very least. This is a fragrance that is almost hard to get rid of. Once you spray it on, it stays on you for a very, very long time. So the problem with this fragrance is not the longevity of it. The longevity is great, but the projection and sillage of this fragrance is somewhat questionable in my opinion. It projects really well for the first hour. It's almost overwhelmingly strong to the people around you. But after about 1 hour it quickly fades away, and I mean quickly. In a matter of minutes it goes from projecting all over the room to about radiating this far from the skin on you. And it's almost like this fragrance is stuck to the skin. Even if you wave your arm around in front of you, if you have sprayed it on your arm, you still don't get whiffs of it. It's like it's solidly glued to your skin for some reason. Now this is a real problem to me, because I honestly don't know when and how to wear this fragrance properly. In the beginning it's almost overwhelming, but after an hour or an hour and a half, if you apply much of it, people can almost not smell it at all on you. It's very, very close to the skin at that point in time. And it stays very close to the skin. It's almost like the fragrance is struggling to survive. But it's a great struggle because it do survive for a very, very long time. So if you just are okay with the fact that this fragrance almost is a skin scent after the first hour of application, then it's okay for you. Personally, I like other people to be able to smell my fragrance, people that are around me as well, at least a little. You don't get that with this fragrance because it's so close to the skin, and the sillage is very poor also after the first hour. So considering its great longevity, after all, I give it a strength rating of 7, but I must warn you, the projection and sillage is very poor after the first hour on this fragrance. Next we have the versatility rating. This is a very sweet fragrance and it's best suited for winter time. I would not wear this in any other season than the winter really. I guess you could wear this fragrance as a date fragrance too, but it's a little tricky in that situation as well, because it do project almost too much in the beginning and too little at the end. So the risk is that you almost choke your date, or that she doesn't smell it at all on you. So I don't think it's too great of a date fragrance, even if you possibly could wear it for dates. This fragrance is sweet enough to attract the younger crowd, so I think this fragrance is suitable for most age groups. It's manly enough with the tobacco notes to appeal to older gentlemen, and it's sweet enough to appeal to the younger crowd as well. Because of the sweetness of this fragrance, I cannot give it more than a 4 in versatility rating. Lastly, let's move on to the price. Viktor Rolf Spicebomb Extreme is in a pretty high price range for a designer fragrance. You have to pay about $110 US or 90 euros for a 90 ml bottle of this fragrance. So this fragrance competes with the likes of Dior Sauvage and Acqua di Gio Profumo, just to mention a few. And to compete in this price bracket, you really have to have an excellent fragrance. Now, I don't consider Viktor & Rolf an excellent fragrance, and I don't think it can compete with the best of the designer fragrances out there. So in my opinion, this fragrance is a little overpriced, and I can't give it more than a 3 in price rating. So, would I recommend anyone buying Viktor & Rolf Spicebomb Extreme? No, I would not. The pros of this fragrance is that it's a nice, solid fragrance. It's manly and mass appealingly sweet at the same time. That's the pros. The cons of this fragrance is that it is overpriced in my opinion. You don't get value for your money, or not enough value for your money when you purchase this anyway. If you have that kind of money to spend on a designer fragrance, I would much more recommend you to buy Dior Sauvage or Acqua di Gio Profumo instead. They are much better than this one. This is not a bad fragrance, but it's not an excellent fragrance. Also, the projection and sillage of this fragrance is very, very weird. After the first hour it's almost like a skin scent, and I can't recommend such a fragrance to anyone really. That was it about Viktor & Rolf Spicebomb Extreme. I hope you liked the review, and as always, if you don't want to miss any future videos of mine and support me, please click the subscribe button. That was all from me, Tommy, here at Nordic Fragrance. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves.